How's it going, everyone? It's Vivi, and welcome back to another Sly Cooper video. This time it's gonna be a little different, and by this I mean we're gonna be looking at fan art. Back in 2018, I shared a tweet of a fan-made concept for Sly Cooper 5. So already, what you're about to see is, like I just said, fan-made. This is no actual concept for Sly 5. But I did want to bring this to your attention because I do find something interesting about them. What you see on screen right now is artwork created by Pierre Mareschal. In 2018 I didn't make a video on it, but this time I thought, alright, why not discuss it a little? Plus, there's more he shared, like a year ago. Back in 2018 we had 4 concepts, if I'm not mistaken. Now the link to those ones from 2018, well, the link no longer seems to be working. The only archived piece is the tweet I made back then. Already, looking at these, you might think, nah, too futuristic for my liking. And I wholeheartedly agree with you. Not to say this art is not pretty. It is pretty to look at. There's something very nice about it, however, yes, it is too futuristic for Sly Cooper. There's something that stands out, something I've probably said a couple of times before, that darker tone which I'd love for the series to have. Heck, like I've said many times before, and I'll say it again, I'm a fan of CG Sly Cooper. I'm probably in the minority, but I did want to point it out. If Sly Cooper, sometime in the future let's say, heads in that direction, CGI, I'm all for it. Let's not forget, both the movie and TV show, if that's still happening, hopefully it is, they're going CG, well, at least for the TV show. The movie at this point is, not in the picture anymore. So if a game ever goes in that direction, CG, then I feel the aesthetic will capture attention. As for the concepts by Mareschal, what stands out is the CG. That's exactly what I'm looking at, albeit too realistic for the nature of Sly Cooper. These art remind me of that direction Naughty Dog tried to take the Jak and Daxter series before, it turned into The Last of Us. They thought that this type of Jak and Daxter game was a disservice to fans, that it'd be unfavorable, and then they simply moved on to The Last of Us. When I saw these by Naughty Dog back then, it just stepped away too much from the cartoony world, the aesthetic we're used to when looking at Jak and Daxter. But I do agree on a couple of things, looking at these artwork. But before that, let me try and understand what Mareschal was trying to portray when drawing these. This was a personal project of his. He maybe got inspired with the theme of time travel from Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, or just got inspired by games we have today, popular AAAs with realistic looking aesthetics. Whatever the case is, he still felt like Sly was a wanted thief. Pay close attention to the background, it says wanted. This environment also looks like it's been run by clockwork, and I like that. Hey, like I always say, bring back clockwork. Looking at his latest work, notice how it says Clockwork Enterprise. Imagine this type of world. You ask why? What the heck happened? This is basically a floating city, at least looking at the previous art from 2018. It's a perfect world for Clockwork. The city looks to be completely overrun by him, and that's one thing I do agree with when it comes to Clockwork. If he does return, I don't want him to simply seek revenge on Sly Cooper. I want him to be a pain to the city. Not just him, seeking Sly again. Clockwork will want to rise to power. Due to his massive ego, or his way of thinking, he believes the world will bow down to him. This type of, let's say, post-apocalyptic world would be a result of time travel. Something went wrong in the past, and caused Clockwork to rise to power in the present, or future. It's a bit similar to the paradox in Sly 4, but worse. If Clockwork did live on for centuries, then surely he can live another one and take over. Or This is a scenario of someone admiring Clockwork and took his name and built a foundation around it, a company behind his name. There is a difference between this art from 1 year ago to the one from 2018. The latest ones appear to be in Paris, and just looking at this one with the Eiffel Tower, just imagine Sly Cooper in CG, a beautiful pre-rendered cutscene if Sony is still considering pre-rendered cutscene with the PlayStation 5, let's say. Well, ultimately it comes down to the developer, the way they handle their game, the way they want it to look. So like I was saying, imagine a CG scene here, with a view of Paris. It looked beautiful. As for this one, it seems to be Hong Kong inspired, but you know, futuristic. Speaking of Hong Kong, it was mentioned in Sly 1 when they dealt with Panda King. Before heading back home, they took some time off in Hong Kong. Another one. Back in January 2018, PGS interviewed art director of Sucker Punch, Dev Madan, on the Sly Cooper TV show. And back in 2017, Dev Madan did say that he was consulting the show. What's funny about this page, this blog, they had taken it down before, but now it's back up. I don't know when this happened, I don't know why. I don't even know if it'll stay on there for long. But I do notice one difference. The pictures are now missing. I do have one saved up. There was this before, which seems to be like the streets of Hong Kong. Perhaps the TV show wanted to have a setting in that area. As for the other thing I agree with, back to Pierre Mareschal's art, the technology aspect. I'm not saying that Sly has to go full-on futuristic, such as this. No. I would imagine Sly Cooper looking different, the team ending up in the future for some reason. However, I high-key hope that time travel does not continue post Sly 5, if that game ever comes to fruition, of course. If Bentley, let's say, decides to upgrade the Binocucom, wouldn't you think that maybe the technology would be similar to this in some way? Like holographic technology? Which we did see in Sly 4, by the way, how the gang communicated with Dimitri through different time periods. As for the suit, okay, it does look epic, but I feel it's a bit too much for Sly Cooper. However, I do love the idea of Sly having different skins, and that's a feature I would love to see. Each suit, or outfit, or skin can have its own perks. For example, the ability to increase your health, maybe an exclusive move of some sort. See, that is something new that the series could have, maybe. And already it would introduce us to new mechanics. Like, those are features I wouldn't mind seeing in the future. Yes, they are a bit RPG-esque, but I feel like they're more than welcome. Of course, keep the essence of Sly Cooper heists, walking on roofs and all, speaking through the Binocucom. Keep all that. But if they do introduce RPG elements, I wouldn't mind. Looking at the cane here. If Sly happens to lose his cane forever, or if it breaks down or something, I could imagine Bentley designing new canes for Sly. Not long and thin like this one, but looking at this long and thin one, it does give ideas of what Sly's new cane might look like. Maybe more technological, since you know it's being designed by Bentley. But ultimately, if Sly loses his cane, he loses the hook part. So in some way, shape or form, Bentley's gonna design something new for Sly, out of the kindness of his heart. All in all, a customizable cane, a new cane, new outfits, different perks, different moves. I'd call it a wardrobe system, which would be cool. What do you think? Would you like to see a wardrobe system in a future Sly game? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below, and of course, also share your thoughts on the artwork you just looked at, alright? So yeah, as usual, I've been Vivi, and thank you for always tuning in. I'll see you guys next time.